On va commencer par la petite présentation. Okay, so I will assume that the sound is right and the video is right too. Le son est bon, Luc, c'est bon, il n'y a pas de souci?
Aucun problème, c'est bon.
Aucun problème. Allez, parfait. Je vais juste vérifier le micro qui est utilisé. Paramètres audio. Okay, good. Okay, so, well, again, everyone, thank you for coming to this What's New session. We'll try to go through all the points we introduced in the CAM this year. Okay, there's about 120, something like this. I'm not sure about the exact count, but this is fine. And before this, I have a quick presentation because I want to emphasize some things that have changed here in our team. So might good to remind you or at least inform you if you didn't know prior to this. Okay, so let's just go quickly over this. So there we go. We have a few topics to talk about the team, about what's new package and its format. And what I'm gonna talk about is also what I call the essentials, what are the essential points that the product management selected for this year, and these are the points the product management emphasis on for marketing and maintenance reasons. So you can select your own points, but if you don't know which one you could put as a maintenance argument for your customer, you can select these. So I will through the presentation tell them who are they. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about our team because some small things might have changed, as some of you might have already seen. But let's have a quick reminder. First of all, we have a new member here. He's with us in this presentation, which is Monsieur Luc Boileau. Here, on dit Boileau, c'est ça? C'est vrai que...
Oui, tu Boileau, c'est ça.
J'ai eu le doute. Ou maintenant. Okay, so yeah, Monsieur Luc Boileau, okay, who is, as you see, an experienced TopSolid'Cam user with 3 years of CAM support to customers. Yeah, so good profile. So let's welcome him. Welcome, Luc, and please don't be too harsh with him. Send him your worst question when you want. And yes, Mike, he's from the French support. So yeah, I'm trying to follow the chat as we go. So let's proceed. So welcome, Luc. Good luck in your new mission.
Thanks.
Let's go. And yeah, one more important notice. Mr. Thierry Leclerc joined the product management now. So as of, it's been 3 months now, but as of now, please, unless you are explicitly invited to, do not send emails directly to Monsieur Leclerc anymore because, well, he's just transferring them to us in any case. But of course, if you are in direct contact with Monsieur Leclerc, it is fine. Of course, you can keep contact. It's fine. But for general pre-sale questions, generally speaking, please use our mailbox. And well, as some of you already know, we have opened a mailbox for your technical needs, for everything, technical pre-sales questions or things like that. Could be demo packages, any kind of questions. Well, and for support questions, well, you already know the answer. Yes, you have to make a top track. Okay, so think of it. Use this tech.international@topsolid.com mailbox because everyone is able to read these emails. If you use a personal email and then one of us, the guy you just sent the email is not here for some reason, no one will be able to follow the situation. So, well, you just cornered yourself. So if you have questions, please use this mailbox in priority. After, if someone personally answers your question, you can of course reply. Okay, so but for the initial request, please use it. Okay, let's talk about the what's new package and its format, because we are trying to change some things. Okay, so for this year, we keep the kind of the same format you already have. We already have had for many years now, which is a huge Word document plus a huge top PKG, including every point that has been patched from TR, etc. Okay, and you also received some videos package. Most of the points, not every point, but most of the points were covered in small videos with absolutely no sounds, etc. So a good way to show things, but maybe not the most optimal one, but still efficient. So this year we keep the Word and the top PKG, and for videos we've changed things a bit. Okay, because we want to try to explore new ways to bring information to you. So this year, actually, the product management, so product management team is supposed to send the videos of the essential what's new that they selected on our new platform, TopSolid Learning, so that you can access as usual. Most of you know about it, so learning.topsolid.com. And in there, videos will be put with the what's new tag and the 7.16 tag, so you can find them. And why are we doing this? Well, the goal is in here to provide more details while doing videos, meaning that the product management team will do longer videos with a bit more tutorial-like examples, things like you can almost show to your customer as they are, instead of very small videos, things like that. Okay, so this will include probably documentation, video, and of course, we want to try to, we're still working on the format right now, but we want to try to see if we can also put video in both French and English, or with or without subtitles. We are working on the format right now. So, okay, so I'm not gonna develop too much on the format, okay, because it is still a bit changing. The formula is a bit changing at the moment. We're still discussing this week, but in the future, I believe we will have more quality content to provide, and a platform to centralize the knowledge on newer versions, and of course on many topics on TopSolid. Okay, so this will of course not be used only for what's news. You will find a lot of things on this platform. Well, I'm not gonna present the platform again. You might know about it already. Okay, so yeah, again, plans are still in discussion. And as I was saying, product management is working on essential videos. So I already included the essential videos they made in the package I sent yesterday. Okay, so most of you might have received the package, including the top PKG, the Word, and the videos. Okay, so some of the videos are already dubbed in English by myself, and some of them don't have any sound for now because we are still discussing the format. Okay, and that is all for my quick presentation. If you have questions on the platform or what we plan to do, please use the tech.international mail so we can centralize the questions about this platform, okay, or the format. If you have questions, I don't know, doubts or whatever, okay. We won't have that much time for general questions, to be fair with you, because we have a lot to cover. If most of you might have this document already, and there is about 120 points we need to cover. That's a point every 2 minutes or something, I believe. So that's a lot. 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. So that's a lot. Plus, we must include a pause for the coffee. Well, some points are really easy. So again, so for those who are new, Well, let's keep it simple. We have you will have this package here. Well, you already have it technically, with all the points here, drilling, 2D milling, etc. With a number, which is the index, and the index is supposed to be the same on the Word document, meaning that if, for example, you need to understand something on the, I don't know, 3D 3.7, well, you can go to your Word document and you will find the exact same point here. So changing the order of passes whenever multiple passes in sweeping, and if you go there, you get the same document. So the indexes should be the right ones. This year, I believe it's done correctly. So let's start in the order, and I will try while browsing the document to tell you which points were selected by the product management as important. Okay, so let's go. So first, as we do all the time, drillings, I included the top tracks for those who are following the top tracks here. You might not have access to all the top tracks. It is normal. You only have access to the ones you opened. Okay, but in case you have it, it is here. Okay. So let's go. So 1.1. So first thing for drillings and manufacturing features. Well, I'm not sure exactly why it is here, but at least it is there. Manufacturing features are now activated by default, meaning that you don't have to explicitly go to the home menu and activate the manufacturing feature. It is highly possible that this button disappear in the near future. Okay, so no surprise, they will be activated by default. And that also means that when you open this kind of document, here you will find them here. Plus, when you go to your CAM document in there, don't forget to get the machining features. You only have to go to the CAD. Okay, so let me just change the way my screen works because we'll have problems. What was that? So I believe that there is. Where is it? If I don't click on the right face, yeah. Here in the CAD, you can find the inherit MFs. Okay, so you don't have my second screen because I am using a vertical layout. So let me change this real quick. So you end up seeing this. So just a second. I'm sorry for this inconvenience. Up. So this will be a bit weird for me, but it is fine. At least we have the menus working correctly. Do you still see the screen? Yeah, you should still see the screen. So yeah, click on the part, right click, CAD, and in here, manufacturing features, inherit MF. And as soon as you do that, there you go, you got your MF. So this is the last things you should have to do to include the manufacturing features. You shouldn't have to worry about anything else. Okay, let's go. Next. Search option field. Okay, so very simple. You can now define the default search options in the drillings. Okay, so you go to the tools here, options, drillings. Okay, I was there yesterday, as you can see. And here you can choose which search option will be activated by default. Okay. Just in case here the question pops up, I can't remember if we included this here. I don't believe it. I don't think so. Trailing analysis. No, we don't have it here. So yeah, so it's only in the options here in tool options. Okay, simple as that. Next one, there we go. A manufacturing feature and drillings associating the right hole machining primitive depending on the MF selected part. Okay, so what is this about? It's very simple. Let's go to this example 1.3 here. Okay, and what are we trying? When you here select one of the MF from 7.16, when you do this, okay, so maybe I need to be a bit more attentive. Okay, when you select the right MF here directly, and you choose drilling and hole machining, the right primitive should be associated instantly, which is not the case here. Let's try this one here, drillings, hole machining. Okay, so you see I selected the spot facing and I don't have to select it anymore. The drilling primitive will include it automatically. So same thing, for example, if I choose the tapping here. So careful, it's not here. Here it's the drilling. Here it is the tapping. Let's click that, right click, drillings, all machining. Doing this, see, tapping is instantly selected. I don't even have to care about the primitive. Okay, well, then of course, if you want to force the primitive, you can double click and change it. Simple as this. Okay, next one, let's close this. No. Okay. Okay, yeah. This one, positioning problem in mid-turn positioning for some drilling. So this was already patched a bit, partially in 7.15, but we patched a few more cases that were still left. Here, let's show this. We have a 7.14 example here. So when you had mid-turn machines or for example, turrets working on the bottom side of the axis, sometimes working with drillings or I don't know, like a G12 or something like that. Sometimes the simulation will display the axis working on the other side of the axis, which would result in, well, you know, problems. So for example, here we have this open pocketing on this, I believe it's here on this turret. So let's simulate and you will see. Let's go. Okay, here we have this, and this is the top turret, and we are actually trying to work under the axis, which is not optimal. Ideally, we would like to work here, right? Makes a bit more sense. And well, technically this has been patched, and there was some cases for drillings where this wouldn't still be the case even in 7.15. So we just upgraded that algorithm, so you shouldn't get this problem anymore. For example here, so I believe this one was patched. Simulate. Okay. So you would get this behavior by default. So, and now this is patched. So this is the default behavior, and you don't have to put the option in the shift angle, you know, in the multi-axis settings. I believe it's somewhere. Okay, let's just check it out. So here, and shift angle. So technically, I didn't check it out, but on 7.14, you should have to put a 180 angle here to get the right result. This is no more the case. Now, if we're using a top turret, we are working on the top side of the axis. Okay, simple as this. Next. Next one. And I believe, no. It's not 1.6. It's 1.5. Okay, my bad. So drillings, partial cylinders, and minimum angle. So this one was tagged as an important point from product management. Let's take a quick look what it is about. So we are now about to filter partial cylinders with a minimum angle criteria in the analysis of drillings and cylinder. So how does this work? Very simple. We just start an analysis of drillings and cylinders here. Okay. When you want. Okay, thank you, TopSolid. And in there, in the options, here, you can ask to filter and consider partial cylinders above a certain angle. So for example, if we put, do 250 here and then move and redo the search and drilling, okay, and I select everything, you will see that every angle under 250 will be excluded. Okay, so let's try it out here. We have 270. So if we put, for example, 280, again, search, and in here, you see these ones have been excluded. Okay, so it makes it a bit easier to apply certain kind of methods and stuff on these, partial cylinders and all. Okay, simple as this. Do we have more things? Yeah, one more thing is that in the geometry search here, if we take a whole machining here and we go to the geometry, so this is tagged as the same thing, but here you have a new search option which is same color. Okay, so simple as that. Same color, search or similar, and you will get all the same color cylinders. Okay. And I think that is all for this point. Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, so let's close this. I don't see the new parameter in method cylinder search. It is possible it wasn't included. Yeah. Looks like an enhancement request. Yeah. I don't have any word on the documentation like this. So it looks like, yeah, as I was saying, looks like an enhancement request. There is no mention of this option in the methods section. Yep. But that's an interesting remark if you didn't test it out, because, we have a lot. So let me just write this down. Okay, 1.5 access in methods. Okay. I will try to get some info, see if we can confirm something about that. Thank you for the remark, Mike. Yeah, sure. Cylinder search. Yep. Let's go. Next one. Okay, a new filter option, call it like you want. Okay, about how we consider blind and through holes. Okay, so we added a new parameter in the options of analysis. So let's check it out. If we go to options in the CAM analysis here, and okay, and we have this new checkbox here called check blind hole as through hole. And what it does is that it will, when doing the analysis of cylinders, okay, and for holes that are through, if you have some material here, TopSolid would consider them as blind in the past, or in any case, okay? If you have material here, it is considered as blind. We introduced this parameter here so that you can decide from which amount of hair or space you want between the end of your cylinder and the bottom of the next phase, to consider that this cylinder is actually through. Okay, so if we put 20 millimeters here, for example, and we start an analysis of cylinder, so we take this one here, I click, drilling, or machining, you see you get over depth 0 here, so it is considered as blind. And if we take, let's take the last example here, hole machining, you get through hole over depth, which will be different. Okay, so think of it. So because it will help you in some case, and I believe this has some implications in methods too. Okay, so you might want to play with it, and you get some description. And this point has also been documented as a video from product management, and I believe it has been translated. So you get more details if you want to know a bit more. But yeah. So that's all. Okay. So let's proceed. 1.7, matching the machining process during analysis. So what is this about? So the thing is, there we go. So now, again, a new option for inside the options and analysis. We have this window or checkbox to take the machining process into the calculation, to consider the machining process. I don't like the translation, but it's fine. Let's go here, CAM analysis. And we have, where is it? Here, take into account the machining process here. And we can keep it here, or we can put it in the options. Okay, so what is this about? If you take a quick look here on the part, we have 4 cylinders that look, well, geometry and topologically speaking, they are the same. Okay, but if we take a look at the operations here, you will see that these drillings have been made the same way. And here we have a drilling with the spot facing and stuff already done. Here it's a drilling, then I believe we do the same. Okay, same drilling here. Then we add a hole here. Okay, so the way we create these holes is not exactly the same. So the process is different. And from now on, when you do this kind of analysis, okay, so where is it? Okay, so simply we just start the analysis of drilling and cylinders. Okay, can I have it? Okay, there we go. So now instead of grouping these cylinders together, okay, the different processes have been taken into account, meaning that we consider all the processes. So since the color and the process is absolutely different, well, we separate them in 2 different groups of drillings, as you can see. Okay. Just a quick reminder how to do this. Okay, you have to use 2 files, 2 different kind of files. You have to use a machine process file. So this is used during the CAD process here. So you define 2 processes. And then you need to have a process and method association file, meaning that from here, you will have your process association, and you will here select which method is supposed to be applied inside the machining process. So this is where you can define different things, etc. Okay, so I will let you explore. For now, let's proceed. And of course, if you have any questions, please give us some feedback. Okay. Let's go there. 1.8 back spot facing plunging rapid. So let's take a quick look, because here, so simply put, we can now define if we want to use a rapid plunge inside a back spot facing here. So this one here is a good example. If we show it, okay. You can now go here. And I believe it's in the parameters and here. Okay, so for the entry feed rate, you can now say you want to do it in rapid. Okay, and you will see it changes here instantly. Okay, simple as this. Okay, so again, here, settings and parameters, and you have both entry and exit feed rate, where you can choose which kind of feed you want to use. Okay, simple as that. Let's keep it like this. Okay. 1.9 local clearance starting altitude. So here, what is this about? So some of you might know about this problem. In some cases, when you would use NC cycle for drillings, you would sometimes get problems if, well, not exactly what you expect if the local here the local clearance wouldn't be set as the same altitude as the starting altitude. Okay, this would lead to cycles. So drilling cycles would be decomposed or separated when doing the NC output. So for this, now it is possible to say that the local clearance between holes is now the starting altitude, which is literally this one here. Okay, so you can still use different values and you will get the decomposition, or you can put the starting altitude, and if you use, I believe it's a some of it G60, 83 or 87, I can't remember. Some of them don't like when you change the well, you can't specify the local clearance of each one. Yeah, it's all the braking cycles. Every cycle was broke. Okay. Let's go. I believe, yeah, judging from the chat, I believe some of you already had this problem, right? Okay. Next one, 1.10 drillings. We are now able to ignore the chamfers when presenting the analysis of drillings. So right click, let's go, analysis of drillings and cylinders. Here, right click. Okay. Oh, sorry, just a few words. So these cylinders here that you can see, if you ignore the chamfers, they are all the same. Okay, but you can now request TopSolid to completely ignore this, the chamfers, etc. So let's right click, check it out, and I believe I tried this yesterday and I had a problem, but let's go. So inside the geometry, you can ignore chamfers and fillets. Let's try it out. Okay, not today, it seems. Okay, because I believe I did. Okay, so let's just go here. Okay, so this is the result you're supposed to get, but since I believe the last patch, we had some problems. So yeah, so I believe the top track is already issued, but you should be able to ignore chamfers and fillet, and everything should be grouped in the same here. Okay, so well, let's proceed, and let's I'll make sure that it is patched because I believe top track has already been issued. Okay. Next one. So we are done with drillings in general. So if any question is here, well, you can, well, if it's a quick question, we can try, but let's switch to 2D millings. Okay, let's go. 2D milling. So as you can see, we have a lot here. So let's try to not lose focus. Analysis of machining features. Let's go. So simply put, we have 2 new filters that have been added. So let's take a quick example here. So for very complex parts such as this one, right click. Okay, not sure why it's so slow this morning. No, absolutely not. Okay. So let him do these things. And in here we added these 2 filters here. So show filter without machining processes here, where we can click here and show features without associated method. So we can filter and see which things need to be done pretty much manually, or where we need to associate a method exactly. Okay. Makes it a bit easier to navigate. Okay. Next one, side milling, sharp edge management in helical mode. So what was this about? So I have a file that I brought, which is from 7.14, but you would pretty much get the same result in 7.15. Here, if we get normal to this view, here, when we ask to break angles, you would get this kind of chamfers in some case, and which is not exactly what we expect. Okay, if you now upgrade to 7.16, okay, so you see that we need to recalculate, Control E, there we go. And this case here, for chamfers, we now get a good result, okay, which is literally breaking the edge, okay. And just as a reminder, it is in the angle management, and here you can ask what you want to do exactly. Okay, clear, I believe. And I even sent some extreme cases I found myself, and they are all patched. So if you find more cases where this wouldn't work, okay, so remember when doing contouring and breaking angle in helical mode only, so it's not in the general mode, here you would get some strange behaviors. Okay, next then. Breaking edge in open contour, yes. So in previous versions, when you were doing some side milling and using, I believe this was, this primitive, so the contouring primitive, the most standard one, you wouldn't be able to break the edges at the entry or the lead-in of a profile. Okay, so this is now possible. Okay, and in the lead in out section, what was that? But no, it's in angle management, so that's why it's easy, as simple as that. So in the angle management here, you have what goes inside, so here, and for the lead in and out, you can ask to go angular and break the edges here. So for example, if we put a 120 here, okay, break like this, etc. Okay, simple as that. Okay, so new tool. Previously, this would work only with the truncated contouring, I believe. Okay, so now it has been generalized, and you can do it on all the profiles with only one cycle. So no more drawing sketches and stuff. Okay, let me just taking some notes here. Okay, so 2.4 and 2.5. So side milling added field to manage feed rate. Okay, so these are mostly the same thing, but let's check it out. So now in pocketing and side milling, when you go here, so here it's the side milling example, we can manage the feed rate, or well, we can manage some things for the feed rate on the final pass. Here, so if you have a final axial depth pass here, you can also choose what you will do for the feed rate and the spindle rate here. Let's open up this window, and of course you can choose between a specific, well, you can choose the machining, the same as the, yeah, well, you can choose the same feed as the rest of the machining, or you can use a custom one or a factor of the feed rate you specified in cutting conditions. Okay, same thing for the spindle rate, okay, custom one, tool factor, etc. Okay, so this has been done in side milling, and I believe this is the same thing in end milling. Okay, yes, that's it. Settings. So this is 2.5. Yeah, same thing. Here you can choose a custom feed rate and spindle rate for the final pass again. Don't forget, if you put a, I believe if you put a 0 here, of course, these get deactivated. Okay, so 2.4, 2.5, same thing. Let's go to 2.6. So what was that about? So end milling and offing choice of specific coolants when plunging in material. So yeah, I believe this is, if we take this open pocketing here, where was it? I can't remember. Okay, so simple as that in the settings. Inside the plunge section here. Okay, and now we are able to choose a custom coolant here for the plunge. So when you do plunge and stuff like that, okay, you can choose which coolant you want to use, and also specify, for example, a pressure if you have a high pressure pump or stuff like that. Okay, simple as this. Small things, but we do a lot, so that's why. Okay. 2.7, improving the topological analysis in slot milling. So here, in some cases of slots, well, being on top of each other or stuff like that, you would get some weird behaviors, such as this one here, where this slot here would literally, well, you know, mill into the finish, so it's not exactly what we want. So from now on, the analysis has been changed. So when we upgrade here and we just refresh, you will see that here this is now correct. Simple as this. So you all have the 7.14 package. I'm not saving it, so it's better. Okay. And management of bottom radiuses. So yeah, in 7.16, we are now able to request to ignore the bottom radius without you know, breaking the silhouette calculation. I believe this was the problem. Here in the past, if we said we wanted to ignore the bottom radius, so it is in the settings here, but ignore the bottom radius. When you would check this, the in some cases the management of the finish shape would just break and not be working at all. And well, this has been patched. It is now working. You can now click this and get a correct machining. Okay, so this has been patched in any case, end milling, side milling, etc. This should work correctly from now on. Okay, so just play with it, and if you find cases where it looks like it's not working, it should, well, you can always send some stuff. Okay. Yeah, I believe I made a screenshot on this. So 2.8, I believe. Yeah, here. Yeah, so I made a screenshot. So this was the kind of things you would get in 7.15. Okay. Okay, so yeah, a very specific one, very specific. Yeah, so from C, let's take the no active icon. Okay, just a second. Alexander, why does the geometry selection button on does not work when processing chamfer and edges? I'm not sure I understand the question. Let's proceed, Alexander, and if you want, you can just make me a few screenshots and send it to me so I can see what is going on. Okay, if you don't mind. Okay, we need to proceed. We have a lot to cover. Okay. Okay, I'm getting back to this. So here, we changed the behavior of the chamfer milling. So as you might already know, in the geometry here, when using a sketch profile, you can change the altitude where you want to use the profile. So you go here on your geometry, then you click on this range, and you can here choose to which value you want to use the altitude of the sketch. And for the chamfer milling, okay, what did I do? For chamfer milling, when using this on the bottom, here, this would lead to strange things. So for stuff like that, so this just wouldn't work. And when using a different work coordinate system, okay, so this is a very specific topic, but we patched it when using a different thing, a different WCS. You can now do this, and you don't have to tweak the positioning anymore. So the positioning should work by itself. Okay, so if you had cases where you would have to play with the position and stuff like that to adjust what was going on with the altitudes, you would, well, from 7.16 you shouldn't have to do that. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is very likely that you didn't get this case, so you will not get it anymore anyway. Okay, I'm moving on. Okay, let's proceed. Manufacturing feature, analysis detection, contouring MFO. Yeah, so simply put, we introduced a new manufacturing feature, okay, which is here the contouring MF, contouring manufacturing feature of that, and you will get it in manufacturing feature analysis, okay. And yeah, you see, you get this contouring, so MF6 here. So let's just put this on the side. Okay, so this is that one here, and you can apply a specific method or I don't know, manual machining, whatever, on this specific here. If you right click on it and try to do this, you will see that you get a different filter for these. You get contour roofing and side milling. For now, contour roofing, we will talk about it later. No worries. Okay, pockets and milling, side milling, and that is all. Okay, so a new kind of MF. Okay, and of course you can use processes and methods to do that automatically. Okay, 2.11. So what does this about? So when in some cases of pocketing, and especially in a 4-axis or stuff like that, when we did use the simple geometry optimization. So it is, I believe, in the strategy here, simple geometry optimization. When you would activate this, sometimes it would just break the plunging point you would choose. In here, I believe, what was that? So yeah, So in the leading section or plunging point on your label, you wouldn't be able to, well, when using the simple geometry optimization, it would just break everything and it wouldn't use the point. Okay, so from now on, the point will be respected and we plunge and then we join the first point of the simple geometry optimization. So we try to reach the profile that was calculated. Okay. So this has been patched correctly. Let's proceed. Semi draft angle for pocket and countering. Okay, so simple one. Again, when you are in pocketing from now on, or pocketing or side milling, this would work the same way. Okay, you will find here in the settings, okay, for the stock to leave on wall, here, let's bring that about here. Okay, you can now choose how you want to calculate the stock to leave on the wall shift. So you want to use a value or an angle. So let's put an angle, for example. Let's put 10 degrees. Okay, let's confirm. Okay, let me put this here. Take this camera like that. And as you can see, we can now respect this angle. Simple as that. So we can use an angle or use a shift value for each pass. Very good. Okay, hand milling and high-speed machining, non-alpha loop improvement. So a very straightforward one. Let's take the 7.15 example we have. And well, if you take this example with, okay, this normal here. So for this kind of cycle, well, you would open some pockets with some high values of step over, okay, from about 70, you would get a lot of these artifacts. So let's put it here. So here on this facing, you see this kind of loops you would get, okay. And let's just upgrade and rebuild, okay. And we should get some improvement. As you can see here, the loops have been greatly improved. Instead of doing a complete loop, we can do this kind of, you know, corner correction here. So this will look a bit better from now on. So we have a general better management of alpha loops in this version. Okay, let's not save this so we can keep the history. Okay. Let's proceed. Side milling, staying at the same altitude if possible. Well, the fact is, let's not do a clearance when switching passes. So what is it about? So from now on, we are able to request TopSolid to stay more or less at the same altitude, meaning that we want to not do a clearance when switching from one pass to another. See this here, this little maximum feed rate move we have here, we can now request it in some of the cases here. Plus we have options to filter and filter the cases where you want to actually do a clearance. So where is it? I believe it's in the HSM here. So you need to request first this here. And here you have to select a minimum length from which you actually want to go to the clearance. So here 20 millimeters. If there is a distance greater than 20 millimeters from here to here, of course, we get this clearance here. Let's try to play with it for a second. If I put a very little value, 1 millimeter, okay, let's change everything. You see that we will get the clearance between each pass. Okay, so instead of that, let's put a bigger value. Okay, 10 should be fine, I guess. Yeah, so from 10, you get this behavior. Okay, and I think I included a second screenshot on this because here we are getting some, yeah, the link looks a bit wonky here. So should read maximal left instead of minimal left. That is true. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, let me just write this down because yeah, you are actually right, I believe. What is it? So 2.14. And yes, maximal length. Okay. Okay, so heard you for the maximal length instead of minimal. We'll try to discuss that. I believe this is what they use in French. And for to change this little movement here, this is absolutely in no regard. It says absolutely nothing to do with the link movement, but I will give you the trick to change that. It is because in the settings, I believe it's here, in the compensation diameter here, we use this offset here to manage the case where we use the exact diameter of tool. Okay, so if you actually get rid of this value here, there we go, you get this smooth toolpath here. So from here, switch to maximum fill rate and go to the next pass, etc., etc. So this is because of the compensation movement we do here. So just get rid of a little epsilon here and you should get a very good result. I believe this was written in the documentation. What was it? 2 point, I'm lost. 2.14, yeah, so that's it, yeah. Staying some attitude. And I believe, yeah, I did it here. So, okay, so think of it. Let's proceed. Okay, so very simple one. No need to explain. Okay, 2.15. So we just improved some performance of the boost algorithm compared to Volumil. Okay, I won't get too much into the detail of what was done. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to tell, but no. Let's be fair. We improved the way we do transition links when, for example, using open pockets and stuff like that. And every transition link has been a bit reworked. So you should get smoother result and, well, smaller result, meaning that the cycle time should generally decrease. Okay, so nothing less to say, to be fair. Okay. So here, so let's close it. You can try it out. So if you have a boost meaning you want to try, time to try it out and see if you get performance improvement. 2.16 end and side milling collision detection for 2D milling. Okay, simply put, we are now able to request in your cycle. So you see, if you do some pocketing without managing the tool holder, okay, it is now possible to request it. And as you can see, we will use a diameter calculation for each path where we will change the way we offset the path, okay, to take in charge the fact that we are using a tool holder. Okay, where is this? Double click on the pocket. Okay, we go to the settings. Why is it so slow? Am I in? I don't know what what is going on? But it's okay. Well, let's just wait. It's not supposed to be slow like that. Okay. Not sure if I am in energy saving mode or something. Okay, and when you go to collisions here, you can request now to manage the tool holder. Okay. You can use different safe distances, Z or lateral. Okay. And of course, you get some options to discretize for conical parts. Okay. Stuff like that to simplify the general tool holder. Okay. And well, when you confirm, you will just get a different result from the other pocket and you get a better result. Okay. Keep in mind, of course, that since we request to calculate and take the tool holder in charge, this will, of course, impact the time to calculate the cycle. Okay. And depending on how complex your parts are, well, of course, you get way higher results. Okay. Simple as this. Okay. So this side milling collision detection is actually tagged as a important point from product management. And I believe there is a video attached to it. Okay. Reducing feed rates in angle problems. So what was this about? Yeah. So simply put, in previous versions, we had some cases where using the reduced feed rate in some angles or stuff like that wasn't justified. For example, I believe it's in the lead in and out. Here we detected angles or stuff like that, and we output a decreased feed rate, which wouldn't be what we needed, to be fair. So this has been patched and you should get a better result. I believe I made this kind of capture. Well, I made a screenshot on this. Yeah. Okay. So you should get a better result. This also means, of course, that okay, files with this decreased feed rate in lead in out will be modified. So careful with these. Okay. So I believe you might want to inform your customer sometimes. Okay, 2.18 machining feature analysis outside silhouette, meaning what is going on? I believe that when you create or use, bien, who said that? Okay, here, when you do machine feature analysis and you put an analysis direction, you should get one more. Okay, you will get this outside this outside feature, which well, okay, this is not the right word. This is a contour, but you should get a new. You will get this new feature analyzed when you output a direction. You get a. This is the same manufacturing feature. This will work just as the same as we did here. I believe it's a contouring MF. Okay, same thing. This would work just as the same. But well, okay, simple as that. Why is it this here? Who did that? Okay, no worries. Let's proceed. Okay. Oh, link without retraction. Okay. So, in pocketing and milling, in emailing and milling, when you finish your pocket, you can, in some cases, I believe it's in some cases of some material, you don't want to lift the tool when you are at the bottom. Okay, so you want to, when going from a zone to another, you want to request TopSolid to stay at the bottom as much as possible. Okay, so here I believe it's in the setting and high-speed machining here. And here, if I request link without retraction, you can see that here I get this behavior. So instead of doing a clearance from a part to another, well, TopSolid will stay at the bottom. So in some cases, it could be very important. Okay, this feature will be combined with another one to help the case, to manage the case where you want to machine a zone and finish it at the same time, okay, without lifting the tool. So this can be very important for, I believe it's for some kind of plastics and also very precise electronics and stuff like that. This has been requested. Well, we'll talk about it a bit more later because we use the link without retraction plus a new option to do the island contouring a bit later. So think of it if you don't want to lift your tool. Okay. Boost milling, specify the feed rate in mixed milling direction. Okay. So what is this about? Here, simply put, when you use mixed directions, okay, so when you use both conventional and standard, okay, direction. If you go into the strategy here, you can request to use the mixed milling direction. And when you do that, okay, something is wrong here. I should get, oh, interesting. Do I need an upgrade? Upgrade or something like that? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I made the screenshot, so I believe it is here. Okay. Okay, so we are missing something here. Let me just write this down because this was working correctly. Where is it? So what you should get, let me just show you. 2.20, I believe. Okay, there. You should get this here to specify the feed rate. I am not in boost. You are right. This is, no, I am in boost. What is this about? No. Why is it not working here? No. What is no? I believe it's in the settings. Oh yes, so that's fine because yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, I thought it was already selected, so that's why. Yeah, you're right. My eyes did me wrong. There we go. That is a strange way to put an example. Yeah, okay, I know. That is a strange way to put an example here without putting it in the boost. There we go. And yes, you are right. We are getting our parameter back. And I will save this document like this so you don't end up doing the same mistake as I did here. Yes, I know. When you want TopSolid. Okay, am I in energy saving mode? Just a second. Okay. What are you doing? Let me just change the energy mode because it's not normal. It's so slow this morning. Okay, fair enough. Let's keep it like this. So better, and I will save the project like that, so you don't have to change to boost anymore. Good. So the package I sent you yesterday, of course, is subject to changes, as I was saying. So this is the kind of changes I am talking about. 2.21 contour roofing. So we added a new, literally a new cycle here, which is called contour roofing. So what is this about? Simply put, you can now select a side face like this. And when you choose contour roofing, the general concept is that you can use the same kind of parameters as end milling, but using a side face as a base. Okay, simple as that. So you will see that when you go inside the settings, it is more or less the same thing as using end milling. Okay. And of course, we get the same kind of behavior as in side milling. So if we, for example, choose a face here using the Alt tab here and then go, I don't know, from here. Okay, let me just do that again. There, then Alt, press Alt and go here. Okay, this is not more working anymore. Very good. This is what I call the demo effect. Alt again. And then going here, I don't know. Okay, so the alt behavior should be working. Not sure why it isn't here. Let me just try it out here from here to, or I don't know. Yeah. This is why I'm trying outside the operation. It should work inside too. This is why I believe. Better. Okay. So good. Yeah, it should. I know. Hasn't this been requested already? Okay, so well, now your time to play with it, I believe. But basically, it's the same as end milling. This has been tagged as important, as you might guess, since it is a new cycle. Okay, and I believe we made a complete video with translation that will be available on the e-learning platform. And it is also included in the package I sent yesterday. Okay, very good. Yeah, and for the restrictions, because I believe there was one that you might already know, of course, no multi-axis. Well, I guess it's pretty obvious. Okay. 220 default values to the type of plunge. Oh yeah. So here it's not really what we could call a patch or new things, just improving the way we communicate with the user. Here, when you go to your settings here, when the user would, for example, do a plunge here and then uncheck the plunge authorized and use a tool without center cutting, well, sometimes you wouldn't get even a message. Okay, you just wouldn't get any kind of toolpath. and well, some user wouldn't get what is going on. So that's why we improved a bit the warning messages you get. So here, for example, I get a message, plunge is prohibited in the material, okay? And since I'm using a side mill here, so double click, and the user has to actually put the plunge here. So generally speaking, we improvise the cases where the user wouldn't get why he's not getting any kind of toolpath here. Okay, and here, of course, if we force the plunge with a tool that hasn't center cutting, we still get a message. We get toolpath, but we get a different message. Okay, the plunge has been allowed with a tool without center cutting. Yes, this will avoid support, I believe, a lot, a lot. Okay. Okay, so next one is a bit of an odd one. We don't have any example on this because well, the example here was confidential. So what is it about? We are not able to request TopSolid to work without using the silhouette. You know, the silhouette is the outside curve you get when you start a new cycle. You get this orange cycle here, the silhouette. Let's put it there just in case some of you aren't sure. I don't know if I do in billing, whatever. So this is the silhouette. Okay, this orange thingy we get here. So for a very specific case, okay, we allowed the fact that we can use to work without the silhouette. But let's be fair, okay? You have to be very sure what you are doing when you activate this option. This is for very specific needs, okay? Because yeah, we have a set of instructions to use, okay? So this has been made available, and for very specific needs, such as, I believe, some cases of working on aluminum, what do we call, I can't remember the English word for that. It's okay. So specific cases where the end faces, the faces you want to mill are exactly the same as the milled zone, you can use that. Okay, so please read the documentation. Okay, but be sure that here you need to make sure that you know what you are doing. Okay. Okay, so here you get the cases and the procedure you need to activate first. Okay, no captures, no documentation, but for example, this has been tested on very complex parts. Okay, so 40,000 faces. Okay, so okay, management. So you just change the way. Oh, this is French, I believe. We silhouettes way out. Yeah, I don't like the silhouette word. I need to change something here. Okay, fair enough. Let's switch to the next point because we have a lot. Okay. Okay, we made a general rework of the compensation set to original mode. Well, generally speaking, simply put, we just made the compensation work in some specific cases. Okay. I believe we put an example here. Okay. So you might want to play with it. So very specific cases of compensation not working. For example, when breaking angles, yeah, linear breaking edges and some other parameters. Okay, so this would lead to problems. Okay, so this has been patched. Okay, so just try it out. Nothing less to say. Okay, let's proceed. Boost milling and slot milling. Yeah, so in some cases of boost milling, we had some problems, especially for slots. Okay, we don't have example, but the slot would sometimes start on the side, then jump to the other side for boost milling, which wouldn't make any sense. Okay, so we made improvements to use this a bit more clearly. Okay. Well, generally speaking, boost milling wasn't very usable in Boost. I believe this was usable in 7.15, but was wonky, and now it should work correctly. This will, of course, give you access to the usual parameter of Boost. So, yeah, time to play with it. Okay. Boost performance improvement. So same thing, I believe. We had stop milling, so try with it. Boost performance improvement. So wow, nothing too special to say about it. So let's just try it out. So as I was saying earlier on another track here, could bust be added to T-slot milling? Please, Alexander, boost added to T-slot milling. Okay, well, I believe this is the first. So let me just write that. T-slot milling. Okay, interesting. Do you have the part for this customer, Alexander? Because I don't believe we had such a request, to be fair with you. If you have the part, yeah, please, but send it to me specifically. You can send it with the track, okay? So I can see what can do about this. But yeah, okay. This is I believe this is a first. Okay, this is boost. Let me just try this. 2 point. Let's put it there. 2.25 boost in T-slot milling. Why not, right? I don't see any case where we wouldn't be able to do that technically. But well, why not? Let's try to see what the product management has to say. Okay, so about the boost performance improvements, here I gave you some details of what was going on in the background. Okay, so technically with just this helical movement you see here, the blue one here at the top, has been a bit changed. Okay, plus you can now change how all this works. Okay, inside your cam options. Okay, so general improvement, and this will depend on safety distances, peripheral distances, etc. So yeah, and again, you get different behavior, so very specific things, but you get the documentation, right? Which your customer wouldn't. So this way you get more things. Okay, 2.28 step over check. So in the shit, yeah, this is a confidential part again. I did believe we had something here, but okay, in the boost milling, you can now request to check for the overload of the tool. So of course, ideally speaking, you shouldn't get any overload of your tool. Okay, in the ideal world of ideal algorithms and things, you shouldn't get any overload, right? But you can request TopSolid to check this for you after the calculation of the cycle. Okay, so inside the boost, you have the verification, and you have 4 parameters where you want to check, is my tool overloaded? Okay, and depending on the amount of overload you want to check, you can select rough, standard, and fine. Okay, so you add the values. Okay, you will get, of course, a warning message saying you that your toolpath is overloaded. And here we get the highlighted parts of where the toolpath has been overloaded. Okay, so generally speaking, you shouldn't get any overload, but in some cases where you can see why we have a lot of islands and stuff like that, you can get some overloads of the tool. So in case you need to check that, be sure to do a verification, and you will get these underlined to see where the overload happened. Okay, very good. Let's proceed. 2.30, meaning last step over management. So this one, we have an example here. And what is going on is that here, when you go on your facing, so let's take, it is that one here. You see it going on here. When you go in the settings, here, and you have last step over here, it is possible to manage that, and this is what is happening here. Okay, what kind of step over you want to use? So say for example 30% here. Okay, you will see we changed the last step over. Okay, 40, etc. or 50, I don't know. Okay, and you get different kind of behavior for the last step over for your end milling operation. Okay, simple as this. Okay, let me just change that. Better environment management. Yes, of course. Okay, so what is going on? Okay, simply put, we just improved the way that the environment is managed in some limit cases. Okay, I did believe I made some screenshots, but simply put, this should work a bit better. Let's try to upgrade this one. I believe that we get a different behavior from now on. Upgrade, and we can rebuild. See what is going on here. Let's try to request a rebuild. Okay, so here, okay, instead of, well, I won't go too much into the details, but you should get improvements in the general behavior when you approach the environment. Okay, so well, you get an example here, plus we have another one here. Yeah, I believe this kind of things here, okay, where you would get this kind of wonky toolpath. Instead, you should get here a better clearance. Okay, and well, I had to do it, so you now you know, and you need to upgrade your document. Okay, let's go. Retraction feed rate management. Okay, so we don't have an example, so let's just check a quick look here. Simply put, okay, so you can manually change the retraction in case of direct retract strategy. So here, when you are in retract, so in end milling, retract strategy, direct, rapid. So you can choose what is going on. Okay, keep in mind, okay, you have restrictions. Not every cycle can do that. Okay. 2.33, very simple one. I believe we have an example. Yes, we do. Okay, and I've put it right in front of us. Okay, so this is a pocket. Okay, and now it is possible to request this kind of lead out strategy, meaning we are in tangency, but in the Z with a Z retraction. Okay, here just like that. So X and Z here. Okay, so as I was saying, here, and you can find it in the retract here. Z tangent clearance. Okay, where you can put here a radius and a height. Okay, fair enough. Let's put something way bigger just for the sake of it. There we go. For example. Okay, fair. Okay, and 2.34 end milling island contouring at the earliest. Okay, so this has been put in videos too with much more details. Okay, this has been recorded by Monsieur Benoît Lallier that you might already know. So what is this about? So this is the completion of what I was talking a bit earlier with the request to stay at the bottom of the part. Okay. You can also combine this now with the fact that you want to contour your island at the earliest moments possible. Okay, so this is simply put into the contouring integrated, I believe. And here you can request to contour the island at the earliest. Okay, so this plus the high-speed machining and what was it? Link without retraction option here. Okay, and you should this should improve the general behavior in parts that tend to move or to deform while you machine. You know, like when you liberate constraint inside the material, some parts will change the Z level. So you need to actually stay at the bottom of your parts. Plus, you need to sometimes do the finishing of the sides here at the same time. So here, so contouring integrated, contour the island at the earliest, and here you will progressively finish your part as you machine it instead of roughing the whole face and then do the island contouring. This will prevent the fact that when doing the island contouring at the end, you should get marks at the bottom. Okay, so this can prevent this kind of behavior. Okay, so can be very useful in some specific materials. So this point has been marked as important by product management. Okay, and again, you get a video on the e-learning platform. Michel, is it important for sign milling too? Sorry, Michel. Which point are you talking about? The 2.44 or the Z tangency? Because I just saw your question right now. I'm not sure to understand. Oh, yes, for 2.41. I believe it is. I believe it is. It's not written specifically for it's written end milling. Oh, you're right. Is it specific to end milling? Okay. Is this a translation problem or is it let me just check it out. I will tell you immediately if this is a translation problem or is it specific to end milling. No, this is not source doc. Let me just check this out. 2.31. Can I see this? Okay. Yeah, it is tagged only for end milling, so I am not sure for side milling. You might want to try it and tell me about it. Yeah, it is tagged specifically for end milling. It is not a translation problem. So yeah, it's titled. But I invite you to check it out, because if we do improvements for this kind of things, it is supposed to be factorized. Okay, so it is not because we tagged it as end milling that it is not actually working for side milling, because environment and is a separated topic. It is the improvement, I believe, was explained as an improvement in the way we create the silhouettes and the projections for the environment. So I don't see it not being implemented for side milling. Just try it out and, well, let me know. Okay. Fair enough. And we are done for 2D milling, I believe. Okay, so we still have a lot to cover, but you will see that we have less points here, so should be a bit better. So what I could propose right now, if you want, guys, we can take a quick break, yes, and take a coffee, because I believe you do need some coffee right now. Okay, so let's say 10 minutes, fine. So see you in at 10.54. Let's go. Break time.
Schaust du das? Alles kommt dann einfach. Punkt. Das. So können wir jetzt automatisiert. Entschuldigung. Das ist so. Das ist ein bisschen böse, aber. Naja.
Okay. So let's assume most of you are back. Okay, getting back to this here. Okay, so let's assume everyone is here. We'll switch to 3D milling. I hope your coffee was good. Okay, there we go. Opening the sample. So 3D milling, first point. So this also is tagged as an important point from product measurement. We added the fixture geometries management in the material left operations. So if you go to any kind of material left operations, such as, I don't know, residual machining, pencil machining, for example, let's take this one. When you go to the geometry, I believe, here you can go into the fixture and specify the fixture shapes. Okay, which you want to use. And then, of course, this will get into the calculation of the silhouette, of the above silhouette. So you don't end up touching the fixture while machining. Simple as this. So this should be available in in previous. Well, I believe this. We didn't have this in every primitive, and we have a list of things where it was added. I believe, yeah, constant Z material, radius, and pencil machining. Okay, so I believe this is a complete. Yeah, the complete list. Now I believe every residual machining operation should be able to do it. Okay. Simple as this. You can get more detail in the specific video that will be uploaded on the platform, and you already have it in your package. Okay, so this one, 3.2, what is it about? In the residual machining process here, for machining operations, you can now specify which operation you want to take into account before this operation, and this would change the output. But to be fair, from the last patch, I don't see it working. So when I was doing the screenshots, it worked just right. So we'll just show where it is. So I believe this was, where was that? Again, in geometry. Okay, in the geometry, you can check the list of previous operations to use, okay, to take into account and to consider these. Okay, so you can check and uncheck, and this will change the behavior of the cycle for this. Okay, so here, I believe, sadly, this is not working anymore because we are not supposed to take that much material here. Okay, and a tracker has already been issued. Okay, so we shall see where this goes. Okay, next one. So 3.3 machine offset passes. Okay, so we can do multi passes in material left operations. So this means that For example, let's take again the pencil machining here. When you go to the settings here, you can request to add some offset paths here. Okay, as you can see, I put 3. Okay, so, and you can customize that. So let's say I want to add more. Well, doesn't mean we will add this exact number, but you can request a certain number. So let's change 0.2, for example. Okay, up and confirm. See. And there we go. Okay, so we just made this possible. So pencil machining, radius, and material left. Okay, so available for radius machining and residual machining. Okay, simple as this. So good to try it out. And of course, as you might guess, this has been tagged as an important feature for this version. Okay, new parameter with plunge strategy 3.4. Okay, when you go into the roughing here, and you go to your settings and plunge and retract, I believe. Yes, ici. Here you get some new things here, such as the dwell after each spin movement speed. Okay, and you can change pretty much new things, so spin speed, cooling, adding dwell, etc. So cool things to help you during plunges and stuff like that. Okay, simple as this. Planar faces machining. Okay, we have now options to change the order we do the planar faces machining. So we have a quick example here. Let's double click. And inside the geometry, here you have now a new option in optimization method, which is called shortest path. Here, just like this, you can confirm, and TopSolid will try to calculate the best path to manage all the planar faces. Simple as this. Okay. Fair enough. Let's go. Let's close this. Okay, so for this one here, for the display of the UV ISO in sweeping or other strategies, when you go here, I believe it's in the geometry, and we go, I believe you can do this. Okay, there. When you specify the Umax, Vmin, etc., you wouldn't get the exact values of the ISO. So here 14, and if I try to, for example, change what is going on here, you see I get the exact length of this ISO here, which is covered. So, well, so this works only on one way, meaning that if I am moving this, okay, I can change it, but you cannot like double click on this value to specify. Okay, so it's just a display for now. Okay. Simple as this. Well, simple, you can just, well, you do know about that, right? Let's get that. And for Mr. Liu, how to enlarge the face. For now, you don't do it graphically like this. I believe the only way is to create a new face using the CAD. Okay, but I believe this is something we cover in training, right? But you are right, this would be a cool improvement to be able to enlarge directly during this process. But this would involve a lot of programming, but yeah. Okay, 3.7, changing the order of passes when having multiple passes in sweeping. Okay, so what is this about? Simple as this. Okay, when you have a sweeping, so let me just turn my camera with multiple passes, just like this. We used not to be able to change the order of passes in axial or radial, okay? And this is now made available. If I take a quick example on this here, if we take this sweeping, the last one, we try to do a simulation, you will see, so we do here, each pass, then we change the Z level, okay, so the pass are done in axial movement first, and then in radial movement second. Now we are able to change this. We can double click here, go to the settings, and I believe it is right here, passes order, change to radial. Okay, let's confirm. Okay, almost no calculation here, simulate, and in there, here we change the pass order first. As you can see, we reach the surface, 2, 3, and we get here, instead of doing the actual movement first. Okay, very simple, but this was requested a lot, I believe. Okay, let's proceed. Vertical roughing, optimizing depths. Okay, so when you had some vertical roughing here, so it is this kind of primitive here, we would not optimize to the stock, and well, from 716 it is simply done, so we don't see it that much going here. Okay, with this angle of camera you can see it a bit. For example, we have a dome here, and we can use a vertical optimization of the roof. Okay, I believe it is simply put here. Okay, so just try it out and it's cool. Okay, next point, marked as important by project management. So you get a full video with I believe a lot of examples. I have chosen this one because it is also the same thing in 5-axis, but you will see that this will work in 3-axis too. Okay, you can now trim your toolpath to the stock. So if you take this example here, okay, you see that we have a lot of toolpath outside the stock, okay, and now in any 3D toolpath that we have, you should be able to go here and trim to the stock. This also means that this will work in some cases for 5-axis. If you activate here, okay, if I activate the trim to stock, I get different things to customize that. So a discretization step, clearance, and a distance, maximum distance for the link, meaning that if I trim the toolpath under 10 millimeter, I will keep it anyway. Okay, so let's confirm like that. Okay, and you see, instead of doing the full toolpath, we can now trim to the stock. Okay, so this should be available in lots of finishing operations. Okay, so feel free to try it out. And just keep in mind that there are some cases that where the stock is what we call just touching. Okay, where this won't trigger Okay, but well, in most cases, you should get this kind of behavior. Okay, so your call, and you get, I believe the video is about 10 minutes just on this. Okay, let's proceed, but very cool feature, I believe. Okay, Constant said, we added a new lead-in. So where is it? Simply put, this is this lead-in that you see here, which is a simple tangent arc. Okay, if we take a look inside the 3D space, we can see it a bit better, but we changed here. We used to have only an arc with a perpendicular movement first. So here we have the simple tangent arc that is now available. You can find it here in the plunge and retract, and it is here, tangent arc alone, here. If you choose the tangent one, which is the usual one, okay, you will get the perpendicular movement you get here. Okay, switching to the new one, plunge and retract, tangent arc alone. Let's confirm, and there. Okay. Okay, so a very specific one. Okay, so this one is a bit hard to display, to be fair, to show, but let's take a quick look to the analysis. So for those who don't know, it is Control D, so the machining details here. So what is going on in some roughing cycles? Okay, this, as I was saying, the safety distances were managed a bit differently, and for example, these here, so from to approach to the leading the point motion here, sometimes this movement here would use the different feed rate. Okay, it would use the linear in most all the case. So you would sometimes get incoherent movements, like this one would be 100%, this one would be, I don't know, 30, or a rapid move, and then again the same points, all in the same approach. So this wouldn't make a lot of sense, so we just patch this, and you should get a better result here. Okay, so generally speaking, very specific, but yeah. I believe I made some screenshots here. Where is it? I've lost it. Which point was that? 3.11. So if we go there, okay, we had this here with different kind of, yeah. So first point was a plunge, then we use the linear, then a plunge. So if you try to change the plunging feed rate, you would get like rapid, linear, rapid, which would be a bit weird just for a single plunge. Okay, let's proceed. For planar area machining step over customization. So what is this about? So when you are in roofing, here roofing, I can't remember the exact pronunciation, in your settings, okay, when you go to the altitudes here, okay, there are your options to choose what you want to do with your step over. So you have your step over here, and what you want to do with that step over for planar areas only. Okay, so you can use it, change, for example, choose the identical one, use a custom one, or even a factor of the step over you have in the settings. Okay for this? So simple as this, but again, cool feature, so you don't have to end up doing 2 cycles to manage the roughing and the planar areas. I had to change the what you get as a finishing here. Okay. Morphing, creating points on the fly for curves. Okay, so simply put, here it is now possible to go into the geometry inside morphing. Oh, interesting. And here you can literally change a point and create one on the fly. Meaning if I want to do this here, point on surface, put it, I don't know, here. Okay, change it. Okay, confirm. Without having to get outside the cycle, create a point, etc., etc. Simple but efficient. Okay, next one. We talk about, okay, dividing toolpath. Okay, so when you have divided your toolpaths in a roughing cycles, okay, for different, I don't know, length of tools, okay, you are now able to change the cutting conditions for each one of these cycles. Plus, what is cool is that, for example, if I have a cutting conditions for the second part here, okay, same tool but different length, here you get this display where you can differentiate from the first operation or from the main operation. And if you change it, if you have changed it, you get this red dot here that appears, okay? But that's not all. So this explains that this value has been changed from the original one. And if you click on the button here, you will recall back the spindle rate from the original operation, okay? And the button disappears. So if I try to customize it again, you'll see, okay, I get my button, click, and I can reset. Simple as this. Okay, for dividing toolpath, just here, quick recall, divide toolpath by tool length. Okay, and this is where you do this kind of things where you can check this, check for your different tools and confirm. Okay, and I believe we are done with 3D milling. Okay, let's go. 4D milling. Drum roll. Yeah, one new thing. So yeah, not a lot of things for 4D milling. Okay, let's just check it out quickly. And we just added the fact that we can decompose or ask for a decomposition of rapid movements, for example, in 4-axis actuals or stuff like that. Do we have a 4-axis actual? Yes, here. Okay, and in there, if you go to the multi-axis settings here, there we added the decomposition for angular and linear movements. I believe the linear was already there, but for angular movements, it has been added correctly here. Okay. So you can now specify an angular decomposition, and this will split the toolpath when you output the cycle in NC code. Okay. Now we'll switch to 5D milling. Okay. 5.1 tagged as important from the product management team. So let's see what this is about. We just added here, where was it? I believe it's in equipment. Yes, here you have this new option, part security shapes, where you can specify global security shapes for a part. There, you get a full new window there where you can specify things, or you want to manage global security shapes. Okay, you have an automatic circuit, automatic blocks, automatic cylinders, etc. So you get different shapes, and you can specify manually yourself if you want. So say you want to specify a cylinder, just like I did here. Okay, and you can say, I don't know, change it to 100, stuff like that, and then when you go to your, for example, in any kind of cycle, here, take this sweeping, for example. Okay. No, I believe it's here. Okay. If you go to the Terence shapes sections here, okay, you can recall these global shapes here because they are tagged as global block, global cylinder, etc. When you do that, if you call the global cylinder, for example, of course, you get a display and you also get back the information that we input a bit earlier. Okay. You can, of course, still create a local cylinder for this operation. Of course, it is still possible, but in this case, instead of having to specify for each operation your cylinder, you can now do it directly from here. And if you want to change for all operations, you just have to change it once. Cool feature. Okay. So 5.2, optimizing toolpath trim to stock. So yeah, guess what? This is the same thing we did earlier. So yeah, this also works when you activate the 5-axis machine. So in this case, of course, well, it's a very simple example, but the thing is you can note in geometry, come on, here in the settings, you can activate the trim to stock. Okay, so this is the same point as in 3-axis. Okay, move on. Approach retractive incremental curve. Okay, so here, what is this about? Simply, let's open it. And in sweeping and contouring, so in both cycles, it is now possible to select an approach and retract curve. So I believe it's in plunge retract here. And here in the lead-in section, you can specify you want to use an approach retract curve here and specify a sketch, a curve, or whatever. Okay. You can also use it as an incremental curve. Okay, so that would be used at multiple times depending on the kind of lead-in you create. Was already here. I don't believe the approach and incremental curve was made available. This has been tagged for 7.16. But maybe it was already there, but I believe this was brought it here, so. Keep in mind this, for Mike, I'm talking about sweeping and contouring. So maybe it was not for every cycle. And you are maybe you are thinking of another cycle. It is possible. I don't have the, yeah, it's fine. It's just, you might want to check it out, but I believe this wasn't there. Okay. New cycle that has been added recently. Okay. That lets you do 5-axis deburring pretty simply. Okay. Well, you take a 5-axis part, okay, with lots of edges you want to deburr, okay, and you can create cycles very simple. So this is a MachineWorks cycle, Okay, module works, sorry. Module works cycle. It has been added, so you can find it in the, I'll click here and deburring. So let's try a quick one. I haven't played a lot with it, but it's supposed to be very simple. You can specify a geometry, say you want to deburr this, or you can create a quick sketch if you want to, don't have a single edge like I did here. No, come on, I can do that correctly. Let's add this one here. Okay, don't forget to specify the tool if you can, it's better. There we go. And in there, of course, you specify which edge you want to deburr. You can specify that is manual or create an automatic selection using vertical filter. Okay, you can specify faces you want to avoid. And then in there, you will specify how you want to try to manage your tool, the tilting of your tool. So tilting restriction and stuff like the usual stuff we have in 5-axis. And well, let's confirm to see what we get. But the general cycle isn't supposed to be very hard to use. So just one few clicks. Let's see what we get. So of course you might want to check the of course the F4. Might want to change this clearance here. Okay. But the general toolpath generation isn't that hard to generate. Okay, so you get a full video of this, and I believe that it has been translated into English and will be available on the platform and in your package too. So cool cycle with a nice example here. Okay, so since it is also a new cycle, it is very good if you have parts you want to try it out in. So because of course new cycles means new feedback, right? Okay, I believe we put some documentation. Yeah. What did I say more about it? Deburring. So yeah, different supported tools. Is it a specific license? That is a good question. I didn't get any information on this. If I had some, I would have put them into the restriction. So I need to know about this. Okay, so 5.4 license specifics. Just writing this down. I will try to get info, but I don't believe for now it. Well, I haven't been informed for this. So, but since it is a module work cycle, I do believe there should be some kind of licensing option here. You might want to check on ORS for this, but yeah, here I don't have the info. I need to have some info from the product management. I will put the question, and if I get some feedback on this, I will put it inside the documentation here. Okay, fair enough for you, Michel? Okay, great. Okay, same thing. Oh, we have the pocketing strategy, so same thing here. Do we have things on the licensing? No, don't have any. Interesting. Okay, so let's proceed. It looks like we are missing some info. We added also a new pocketing strategy for 5-axis. So let's take a quick look. Okay, let's take this one. This is a 5-axis pocketing strategy. So here you already have added for the roofing, but we also added the finishing. Okay, so how is it done? Well, very simply, when you go here to your 5-axis, others, you can select multi-axis pocketing. Okay, and when selecting for example, a bottom face here. Where is my primitive? Okay, I should get a primitive here. Why haven't it? I've done that yesterday. Come on. Okay, that's an odd one. How did it guess? Okay, I've done that yesterday. For some reason, I don't get my primitives here and here again. Okay, whatever. So the cycle again is supposed to be easy to use. Okay, so this is why you just have to select the bottom faces, lateral faces again, and in there very few parameters to make things work. Okay, so you get an offset here, how you want to work from the parallel curve, okay, and how you want to do your cycle. Okay, one way, zigzag, etc. So it works just like a pocket, to be fair. Don't forget to specify your tool and you should get results very fast. Okay, again, this cycle has been tagged as important, so you get a full video. I believe it's about 10 to 15 minutes of what you can do with the cycles, including what you can do on the side finishing and also cutting a specific part of this. Okay, simple as that. Okay, let's proceed because we still have a lot. And since we are talking about the integration of ModuleWorks cycles, we also integrated the port machining for ModuleWorks in there. Okay, same concept. There's port machining in there, and you can specify. So let me just take the geometry from here, which would be literally this tube here. Okay, well, you can specify your geometry, which would be the tube. You can specify a support curve for the projection of the cycle. So it could be a curve that is done manually, or you can request it to be automatic. When you create the automatic curve, of course, it is like the middle ground of the whole cylinder. Okay. You can specify where you want to do the cycle. Okay, so user, is it to the middle point? You want to maximize the top area or bottom area? So you get more info on this. So top area is this one or this one, depending on the geometry. So let's say you want to maximize, things like that. Don't forget to check the tool you want to use. Okay, this one. And it's pretty much straightforward. You get the usual. And let's try to confirm this new cycle just like that. I didn't pay attention to the tolerance, which was a mistake. But again, this new cycle is also tagged as important. So you get a full video on this. And I believe this one is also translated into English. You get different explanations on what you can do, what you do for when you do the entries, like you can do some rolling of the, can roll out the edges, stuff like that. Let's confirm. Okay, I should have made the tolerance a bit bigger so you don't so we don't have to wait for this, but it's okay, I guess. Let's let it do its things. 5.6 operation. Okay. Okay. Okay, and I get a simple roofing with just a few clicks. So yeah, simple as that. Oh, my mouse cursor disappeared. That's another one, but okay. Okay, plus the management of the transition between this side and this side is done automatically, depending on the geometry. So the cycle gets kind of easy to use. Okay. So now your turn to try it out and see where this goes. Okay. Moving on. We still have some to proceed, and it's already almost lunchtime. Okay, let's talk about turning now. Okay, so simple one in the scenario here. Okay, we added a few more information. Okay, so you will see that 1, 2, 4 to about 5. Yeah, so 5 are all about the tooltip inside the scenario. Let me get my scenario back. Okay, and I want to use, where is my group mode? Constant display. Yes. Alors, first of all, we changed the coloring of which was the tool changes and stuff like that. Okay. So we get this color for tool changing now. Okay. We added new things for constraints. So if you go to a constraint here, you get a new kind of tooltip. And you get, for example, the name, the ID, what we added, the name of constraints, and yeah, the type of constraint, of course. Okay, and also same thing for the tooltip of operations. Okay, so for 6.5, if you go to this here, you can now have some, you do now have information regarding the cutting conditions of the operation. Okay, as you can see, just at the bottom of this tooltip. So general improvement of the tooltips inside the scenario. Okay. So 1 to 5, and you get, of course, more a bit more documentation here. What is going on? Okay. Simple as this. Okay, let's proceed to 6.6 delays in turning operations. We have new choices. Let me close that. Okay. Let's take, for example, the turn roofing, because I believe this is where things start to change. So turn roofing here. So this would work the same here, or this one. Yeah, this one is should be a bit better, but you get the idea. So here, for this kind of cases, here, as you can see, we added some new options for chip breaking. So I believe that this was in strategy, and then chip breaker here. It is possible now to specify depth and also add a delay and change the way the delay is output, so by time or revolution count. Okay. That said, in the NC code, anyway, it will be output as a time, but on your side, you can specify as a revolution count. Okay, so same thing here, and of course, same thing for the first plunge. Okay. This is of course available in other cycles, such as grooving or also on parting off, for example here. Okay, same thing here. And stages, I believe it's here. Okay, same thing, you can specify here what is going on. Okay, and in any case, this will be converted to seconds. Let's go. Steady rest. new options, rotation and coolant. Okay, so in the steady rest cycle, or steady or movement cycle for steady, we added some new options. If you go to the settings, I believe, you can now specify how you want to rotate the spindle, if it is something you need. And in case this happens, you can also add a coolant. Okay. Of course, you can specify direction clockwise, but also no rotation. Fair enough. Okay, simple one. Let's go here. So this one is of course tagged as important one. So think of it, turning and to be able to work in YZ plane. So why is it important? Well, to be fair, you might have heard of specific tools called from Sandvik, for example, where you can do a cutoff using the y-axis, okay, or I believe it was Ceratizit, something like that. They make a tool called free turn or something like that. I think we do have documentation. Where is it? No. Where is it? I lost it. Oh, there is a title missing, so that's why. Okay, so this one here, heading 2. Okay, so yeah. You have two specific tools where you want to use that. The ScoreCut QD from Sandvik and the free turn from Ceratizit. I added a link here to the tool manufacturer site so you can get more info on this. Okay, basically this means, for example, on the Ceratizit that we use the YZ plane to do some contouring. Let's see how this works. For example, on the contouring here, we added multiple views so you can see what is going on a bit more. Okay, but basically this is a tool that is mounted like this inside the turret. Okay, and it uses the spindle indexation to change the indexation of the tool. Okay, so let's try to keep it like this. Okay, and there. So you can see we are using the y-axis and the bottom of the bottom view to understand exactly what is going on. Okay, so basically here, and we use the indexation of the spindle to change the indexation of the tool. Okay, and for the cutoff, I believe here. So yes, so this is the ScoreCut QD. Let's here see what this does. So as you can see there, oh, it's on the other plane here, but basically we use the y-axis to cut off the part. Simple as that. Okay, so this looks like, well, not nothing, but this looks like simple, but to be fair, we don't have many cam able to do that. So think of it as a very good weapon against some other cam systems. Okay. Okay, you get, of course, as an important feature, a full video featuring this and how this was programmed on this example. Okay, and with multiple examples, details, etc. Okay, let's proceed. So no 6.9, this has been removed, and I even don't know what it is. So machine turning by interpolation. So let's go on. So what is this about? So again, using the indexation of the spindle, but this time on milling machines. So what do we do? When we go inside our turn roughing here on this machine, you can click here and you can, in the multi-axis type, choose to do some interpolation turning. Okay, from here, when this is done, here, well, pretty much what you expect. For toolpath wrapped on the part. What I can do that? Well, simply put, it is a turning cycle. And here, let's do a quick simulation to see what we do. Okay. And in there, as you can expect, the indexation will change as the cycle progresses, just like you would do in some cases on boring machines, such as TOS, or I don't know, or using Andrea heads. This is the same kind of machining. So yeah. Can I create the operation from scratch? Well, I can try if you want, but I believe this is pretty much simple. You can go here, or let's just, where is it here? Okay, turning. Let's do this like that. I don't care. Machine must be defined as milling and turning machine. I believe yes. I believe it's in the spindle. You have to specify that it can do turning. Plus, of course, you need to say that this. Why not have? Yeah. Okay. Cool. You have to specify that the spindle is indexable. If you cannot have an index on the spindle, it won't work, of course. Which license do we need? Do you need a tier 2 license? I don't know, to be fair. So again, let me just write this down. So we are in. Actually, let's ask for this module here, license, and same thing for 6.10. License. Okay, so as I activated this and axis, I need to specify. Oh, interesting. I cannot specify my axis. Right. How was this done? Oh, did we create an axis in the meantime? Oh, I played with it a bit earlier. Interesting. Oh, why is it not asking me my axis? Okay, well, I will not dig into this for now because the S is available here, but when I create a new one, it is not. Why? That's an interesting question. Why can't I? I can't use my S here. Okay, this looks like something I need to track. Okay, interpolation. Did you try that, Mike? This is what you were asking, right? Yeah, you are right. This looks like something I need to track. Interpolation. 4, 5. Tech. Can't choose the axis. Yeah, that looks like a bug to me. So let's try it out because it should be available, because you see in other cycles we don't have any problem. So whether, or maybe I'm missing something, but I don't see any explanation right now. Okay, interesting. Just to answer that and try to go to the point. Support de broche. Let's go here, and I believe this is defined here. And there, you will have to do that, of course, to specify it can do turning. And where is the indexation? I can't remember, to be fair. Oh, can I get my machine back, please? Okay, better. Yeah, No, it's not that one. Okay, this one. Next is tab. It's here. True. You're right. Okay. So of course, you need to put this here to make it available. And of course, the S must be drivable. And is it not what we are missing here? Okay, I might have to dig into this later. Let's proceed. But I have noted something is missing for us here. Okay. Is it possible to make a rectangle pocket instead of circular? I believe not, because I believe it's intended for turning cycles. But yeah, I don't believe we can do that. You might want to try it out. So yeah, but it is made for turning, not for. So I don't believe we can do the kind of rectangular face. I see where this is going, but I don't think this was intended that way. Okay, let's proceed, if you don't mind, guys, because time is running. We added the prime turning options or prime turning customization recommended by Sandvik here. Okay, when you go into the cycle here and you go, I believe it's in the strategy. Okay, and there you can choose a new paraxial roofing method called prime turning. So you might need to check out the documentation from Sandvik. Okay, and you can use dynamic entry radiuses. So it's just work with the Sandvik algorithm. So we don't get a lot of control here instead of a maximum angle between which this will trigger. So if you use it, you can uncheck and say, I want to use a specific arc, or use the dynamic entry and say, for example, I don't know, if you want 120 or one here, this will limit the cases where the arc is actually, the radius is actually put. Okay, put like this here, and if you put here, well, the extreme case, it will try to always apply it. Okay. Plus, the good thing here is that we can specify inside the lead in and out. We have many options for what is going on inside the material. Inside material is here, and outside, when you do a plunge and retract outside from material, etc., you can specify what kind of, well, the different angular movements you get. Okay, I believe I made a good screenshot of this. What was it? Prime turning here. So you get the documentation here if you need to know more. Plus here, I documented that. So A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. So what is going on inside is here. So for the leveling and for the lead out, in outs here. Okay. Same thing, dynamic entry. Okay. And some screenshot to explain what is going on with the arcs. And here I know about the license restrictions, guys. What a surprise. You need module 4465. Okay. This time this has been documented. Okay. Let's proceed. 612 plus 13 and 14. So these are all together. Let's try to explain what is going on. So we made a general improvement of the steady rest cycles and tailstock. Okay, so we added a lot of stuff. Let's close this. Let's take this example here. Okay. If we take, for example, a steady rest here, steady rest cycle, let's go here. You can find now two new options where you can choose what is going on after opening and after closing your steady rest. Okay, you can add a delay. You can choose revolution count again if the spindle is moving at the same time. Okay, this is one thing. Plus, we have one more. It is what is going on for steady rest that are mounted on turrets. Not okay. So this is not a good file. Let me just show you. But we do have an example. Okay, steady rest on turret. This is where it is here. Okay. Let's see. And in here, this has been added. Okay. And the trajectory has been a bit corrected because we had wonky things going on when we tried to do that. Okay, I believe. Not sure if we have previous examples on that or if it is absolutely completely new. But again, you get different retract things. And there is also one more option that is appearing to see the state. Where is it? Ah, yeah. It is this one here. So when you are changing the tool change for other cycles of stuff, you want to know what is going on or what is the steady rest supposed to do? Is it open? Is it closed, etc. Things like that. Okay, so improvements in general for these cycles. Okay, so if you add files with problems from your customer, please, it is time to test them and to see where this goes. Okay. .15 stock escape. Let's go. Okay. So what is going on for this kind of cycles, which is a finishing contouring? When you go here, inside your settings and lead in and out, you see here the similar in-out is unchecked, and in there you can choose the stock escape option that has been added. Okay. And what it does is simply adapts to what is going on with the stock. It tries to match the last bit of stock it finds and extend the toolpath if needed. Even if, for example, we are just touching the stock. Okay, this should also work. So simple as that. This new escape here. So feel free to try it out. And of course, you get the same thing. Do I need to specify? You get the same thing in the lead-in. Okay, so same thing here. If you have some stock here, because, for example, you let some stock from your facing, etc., you can choose to escape the stock here. Simple as that. Okay. And final one for NC, for roofing NC cycles. Okay, so a bit hard to demonstrate, but let's put it simply. We improved the way the stock profile is output for the NC code when you use NC cycles in roofing, in turning roofing. Okay, I do believe we have a good video on this that was made. Okay, but simply put, it works. I believe I made a screenshot on things that weren't working. Yeah, for example, here. Okay, when you had an offset on this kind of cycles, the calculations of the residual stock for the NC cycle wasn't calculated correctly, and we would get this kind of profile inside the stock that was sent to the machine that would lead to problems. Okay, so here you should get things like that would look a bit better. Okay, also we added inside the NC cycle to request to send a cylindrical stock only inside the machine. And I believe here, so you find it into the main section, enable and use the cylindrical stock. Okay, so yeah, since it's only NC output problem, it's a bit hard to show, but yeah, you might want to try it out. Okay, let's proceed. Do we have a lot more? Yeah, we do have some more, but let's try to go a bit faster. But well, link movements. Okay, let's go here. To be fair, when you add tools with linked tool holders, such as this case here for index, what we call MFE. So no one is able to tell me what is MFE, what is the acronym, but it is the case where we have here, this spindle here is linked to this turret here, and it moves together. Okay, in the past, you wouldn't be able to edit the link movements correctly on this kind of cycles when using, for example, the turret here. Okay, and multi-functions. Merci. Thank you. Thank you, Ayumi. So this is German, right? So that's why no one was able to tell me what was going on here. Okay, so now you are able to edit the link on this kind of specific machine. I tried to give you some info on what was going on in the background here. Okay, basically, we changed the way we detect the tool holder chain. Okay, and this won't change anything for classic machines in any case. This is very specific to this, but this will improve what we do in the future also. Okay. Well, I hope it is good. This is why we implemented it. Okay. Let's proceed because we have a lot. Virtual jog. Some improvements here. So, I'm not sure why we call it virtual jog and cutting speed. Well, what is it about? It just means that here, when we no, I believe it's in the cutting conditions here. When you specify the speed ISO output, so this is a new thing too, so well, you need to know about it. If you choose the revolution or whatever, this will also change how it is displayed here. Okay, inside here. And when you do, I can't remember. Oh, it is only for virtual jog. Okay, my bad. Where was it? Why is it put inside here? Okay. Why can't I find this explanation again? Okay, maybe I'm mixing things together. No, that's right. That's right. It's here. I'm just an idiot, and this title is confusing. I need to change that. Okay. I'm not sure why this is called virtual jog. Okay, whatever. Title. Okay. So what is going on is simply put inside the link when you use the selector here. Okay. When you go to your link movements, it will use the same. Where is it? Why can't I see my revolution here? Come on. Don't tell me it's broken too. Yeah, I made a good screenshot for reasons. So here, when you choose the frame rate ISO, we should get this custom speed here. Why is it not? Yeah. Well, just make it, yeah, for the approach, you should get this here correctly instead of having two different ways to display the feed rates, right? Okay. So basically, we use the same display of feed rates in link movements and everywhere. Okay, this is why we added to everything. Okay, so well. Same thing. Let's go for 7.3. Let's take this one for delays. Simple. Okay, can I get my machining? Yes, please. When you go to link movements here, it is now possible to add a delay. Simple as that. Okay, and the delay command is, I believe it's in here. What was it? Okay, I lost it. It's supposed to be in here. Oh, come on! I made the screenshot myself. Why is it not here? Come on! Is everything broken? I am using the dev version, so might have broke some stuff, but come on. Okay, whatever. Let's proceed because we have lots of cover, but I'm gonna write this down. Why is it not available anymore? Come on. Do I need an upgrade or something like that? Fine. I don't believe. Maybe. Maybe that's why. Can I upgrade, please? Yes. Good. Is it why I can't get it? No. Okay. So we are missing something here. Okay. Let's go. That's a new top track. Okay, let's proceed. But well, we added a new command to add a delay inside a link movement. Okay. Yeah, it should be here. Okay, same thing. Again, for link movements, you are now able to drag and drop and paste link movements. So just like you would do in operations. So let's try it out to see if anything is broken again. I believe if we take, for example, this side milling and we go to the link movements. Okay, should be able to do this kind of things now. Okay, so simply drag and drop and you can copy and paste your approach and retracts like this. Okay, simple one, but think of it. Let's proceed. Tool and cutting conditions. Yes, it's a good thing. Think of it as a copy and paste without associativity, because meaning that you are not linking these links. Okay, these are not associative, of course. Okay. Then same tool, same cutting conditions. What is this about? It is the fact that now if you have, for example, a pocketing here and you start a new one, TopSolid will try to recall the last cutting conditions, okay, that it was used for. Okay, so it's try to take the conditions from here and recall them inside this new cycle if we use the same material and tool. Cool, same tool in general. Okay, but to be fair with you, let's keep in mind that this will not apply, okay, if the cutting conditions are provided by external elements, as we say. So if you use an abacus, etc., this will not be taken into account. And we will, of course, use only rate, feed rate, and coolant. Okay, let's go on. Then specific cutting conditions. We are now able to specify a bit more. Okay, here you will see, so we have new parameters, so not specific here. Let's put this here and go here. Okay. So in there, we added the coolant pressure and stuff like that here. So the coolant type here and coolant pressure are now available in specific conditions. Plus, since it is the next point here, we also added the AE and AP parameters that you can specify or not. You can choose not to. To not specify, you just let it blank or choose 0, and they will be ignored. Okay. Plus, as a bonus, it is also now possible for cutting condition to specify which quality is it used for. So you can specify roofing, pre-finish, finishing, or all for all cases. Okay, and you can, well, you will be able to specify multiple conditions for the same tool using this here. Okay. But keep in mind, you cannot make doubles, meaning you cannot have two roofing lines. Okay, so it's only you have to choose here, and you cannot have the same line twice for the quality. After that, when you go inside in your sample here, let's take it out. Okay, go there. When you go, oh, come on. Okay, so this is typical Thierry. Do not put the example. And in there, you should be able to find it here, and you can find 4 different cutting conditions. Okay. Simple as this, but pretty cool. Okay. One more customization here for the AP used in Abacus, in your Abacuses. When you would recall here, the Abacus in other versions would use the maximal axial depth as a base for the Abacus. And this is not always the exact thing you want to do because, yeah, sometimes it doesn't work. So instead, when we want to output the cutting conditions, we send them the actual depth of pass here. Okay, this makes things usable. For example, when you use the number of passes for axial pass method instead of using the maximal axial depth here. Okay, so if we put, I don't know, 4 or something like that, this will be the actual depth that will be used for the Abacus, okay, instead of what we were using in the past. Okay. Okay, let's go. Let's confirm. Getting out. Continuations per group. Okay, very cool new feature too. This one was tagged as important from product management. Okay, so we added this here. Okay, and we are now able to create groups of cutting conditions. So this would mean that you would have to create a specific Abacus. In the past, you would have to create specific cutting conditions for each tool. Now you can specify for groups of tools. Okay, so simply put, you have your tools here. You have a group list where you can create a new group. Here, for example, let's put it test. I don't know, whatever. Okay, and in there, if you want to add some tools, for example, these spotting drills, it is possible to say, I want this one here, okay, this one, and in there, you will be able to select for this group the cutting conditions you want to call. Okay, so cutting speed, feed rate, etc. Plus, you have to choose, of course. Okay, to choose which one you want to use. Okay, you can lock the feed rate, etc. Okay. And when you call it, of course, you will call the same thing as the group. Think of it as long as you send a kind of tool on this list here in the tool member section, it is no more possible to send different ones. If I put spotting drills, I am not able to put end mills in it in the group. Okay. Okay, so this is also why I'm introducing this feature here. And as you can see, because, well, it has been a bit everywhere, but now you can choose the ISO type of how you want to output the cutting conditions outside your ISO. Okay, so this is why in your machining files you get now this here in cutting conditions, this selector here, if you want to use DC or N for the output. Okay, so this has been done pretty much everywhere. So okay, let's proceed. Okay, it is also, yeah, okay, this one. You can now specify cutting conditions from the tool manager, meaning, for example, if I go here, equipment, here, I can go, for example, on this T2, right click, and now I can go to specific cutting conditions here. Okay, and I can choose to apply it on operations that were already created. So if I want to change, I don't know, spindle rate, 130, okay, feed rate, I don't know, let's choose 2 feed rate, something like that. Let's apply this, get out, and when I get here, you see that I need a partial update, which is Control U, because the toolpath isn't updated for this, and you get the cutting conditions applied just like you did. Okay? Very simple, but very cool, so you can manage by tool. Okay, so we talked about it, but here on 8.9, when you go inside, for example, an abacus, let's take this one here. Okay, you can now choose how you want to output the the cutting conditions, if you want to use the spindle rate or the cutting speed, etc. You have this selector here. Okay, I think it's written on the documentation that but only the cutting speed is stored. Okay, and in fact we only do a sort of calculation on the background to get back to the spindle rate. Okay. Okay. Close this too. What happened if we had standard setting before? I believe there was something written, but I believe this won't change anything. It is just that for the new cycles, you will be asked to it. Sarka, I think I tried it, but this kind of case has been applied, and it means that for the older cycles, I believe the selector isn't selected, and we use well, just like what it was, the default values. Okay. But you can try it out, Mike. Okay. Let's proceed. But yeah, generally speaking, we try not to break previous files, even if you upgrade the file, etc. Okay, so custom current pressure depending on machine. Yes. Also this one. This is a big one, you could say. Well, okay. It is. You can now specify a new kind of document. Okay, customize coolant and pressures. Okay, where you can combine different things. So this is not the right example. This is this one here. Okay, where you can specify different coolant types. Okay, you can add new ones if you want here, just like I did here, and associate them together. Okay, so if needed. Plus, then this coolant document, the coolant association here, can be linked to the machine. If I go to my machine here, okay, not like that. where is it? Here. Okay. You can go inside the numerical command here, and you get this tab here called coolant, where you can link your coolant document. Okay. And after that, when you go inside your CAM documents using this machine, and inside the cutting conditions, there you get the different coolant associations that we have made. Okay, simple as that. So this has implications, of course, on the post-processing. Okay, but we have some documentation that is written, okay, inside the document. Okay, plus here, let's just take a quick look. I think it was up here. Okay, so you get to bring back this. What should I do? Oh yeah, just of course the toolbox adapts depending on what you choose. And yes, I put some information regarding methods on it because we needed more details. And yes, this is also working with methods. And I put an example here. Where is it? Well, I will let you explore it, but I did put it right. Okay, here. Things were done correctly. We have the custom coolant, and we also explain how you need to write the things here using the semicolon and stuff to not break everything. Okay, so it should be written correctly. I believe the documentation was done right. Okay, one last thing here. Okay, for the restriction, I do believe we had an example, but it is no more possible to use the custom picking in if you want, well, as long as you linked the document to the machine. Okay, and this is planned for 7.17. Yeah, we could. I could redo the French screenshots, but as this documentation is translated by this little guy presenting you this, and well, we have a lot, as you might need to understand. Okay, this is also why we want to change the way we bring information to you, because right now this documentation you are actually reading depends on one person alone. Okay, so that's why sometimes we have to take shortcuts. Okay, let's go next, and I think we're done with tool and cutting conditions. Okay, number 9. Let's try to stretch, not to stretch too much. We are now able to define a parking position for tailstock. You will find it inside the tool change positions. Here, you can choose, for example, your tailstock or your steady, and specify a parking area, what we could call a home position. Okay. Actually, you don't need to put this this element as a tool holder. Okay, it is not required. It is just here and there. This is why maybe we need to change the function name here at some point. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, for custom coolants, it is the same thing as we were talking a bit earlier. So it is the same thing. Okay, let's switch to methods. Okay. For side milling, for all side milling operations. So if we take a quick look at the method we created here in in the operations. So first we are now able to select a profile. I'm not sure this was available. Cool. Or maybe it was. Yeah, it was just the inside the geometry here. We added the material side option in there. Okay, and you can customize if you want to use the profile, reverse it, and things like that. Okay, so try it out. So it's you can choose the side of machining inside the method now. Okay, but keep in mind this is only for profiles. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so when you use parts with PMIs, okay, we are now available to bring back the information in the method. So for example, let's try it out, analyze for two links, for example. So we are asked to choose an MF here, and we are able to bring back the information. So for now, of course, well, it's we only use it as a text, but you get the idea. So I will let you explore, but here we have this part. Let's drag and drop it here. Okay, so I use my method. My MF has tolerance information, so I can choose, for example, that one here, there, and you get here, we are able to bring back the tolerance, etc. from this hole. Okay, so cool feature if you want to use it at some point. Okay, management of force direction operations. So, what was it already? Let's open it. This will bring back memories. Oh, yeah. Simply put, we are able to well, manage the directions here, picking directions. So when you here, well, you can pretty much use the directions things here instead of having to do it or use the automatic selection. Okay. Oh yeah, and of course, what is important is that, for example, in your facing, let's take this one. So now the directions things are available inside the direction parameters. Let me take a quick example. If I filter like this and try to use here, okay, we are able to specify what we want to use here, this kind of results. Okay, so general improvement on management of directions. So we are able to pick them, to search them, etc., to pick a face for direction, etc. Okay, makes sense. Okay, same thing for WCS. Okay, so we can now pick elements of origin and frame. I believe you could already do that, but from now on, you can find a WCS and specify origin and frame, okay, in there. So the origin is put here and the frame is put here, okay, and this will work correctly because I believe in the past this wasn't done very clearly, okay. Yeah, so I believe it's only for the origin where we had some issues here, so you are unable able to create WCS. Plus, of course, didn't specify, but even if it is a bit is of evidence here, you can choose if you want to create the WCS, if necessary, only. Okay, always or only if necessary. Let's continue. Okay. Also, it is possible to use the WCS values inside the comments of operations. If I take here the comment here, I want to specify a name using WCS informations. Okay, I can choose from here. Okay, and this has been patched because in the past we wouldn't be using the right solution, okay, as an output. Okay, so think of it. So this should be working correctly from now on. Okay, before we had more, we had to do the filtering ourselves. Okay, with 6. Okay, yes. So now we are able to change the direction of the solution of WCS during the execution. Okay, so if I, for example, I don't know, drop this this here, choose this face for the roofing. Okay, now I can check this here, and instead of choosing one specific solution that is calculated by TopSolid, you can choose which one you want. Plus, inside the method, okay, where was it already? You can try to filter yourselves what is going on. So if you go, for example, yeah, let's take the tone roofing here, and I believe it was in WCS here. You have a filter to help TopSolid to find the automatic WCS. And if you double click here, you can add filters. Okay, filters, and try to well, result. You can use the result of the find the solution here and specify a value for the solution. And in there, it will go from top to bottom, and the first solution to match all the filters will be selected. Okay, so careful with this. It doesn't mean that the solution will always be the right one. So because you can unintentionally provoke incompatibilities between the solution and the operation. Okay, so might want to try it out. And this one here isn't documented, so I am not able to tell exactly what they did, but I believe it is 3, 5. Okay, well, it's some sorting options, I believe, for here, and I can't find where it is. So you might have to. I need to ask. Yeah. Okay, so this one is for the wire only. So I hope we do have some wire experts here, but we added some OP sorting options. Okay, I will try to get more info as soon as I can on this specific topic. Okay, let's switch to this. Okay, tool view with driven position. So now, from now on, when you have this kind of part here, you can use, when using the drafting here, so we have a specific one, and I think this is that one. We are able now to display the point that is driven. So let's take a quick look. Here, you get this. Okay, and inside the document here, let's put a quick look in the templates. Okay, so 1.11 templates, and I believe it's here. Okay, and you can customize what is going on, and I think it's on the maquette. No, it's, yeah, it's this projection here, and I believe for the detailing, I can't remember, what is it? Okay, what was that? Yeah, it's supposed to be in there. Okay, well, I let you dig into the documentation, but we are able to display the point and also change the style of points, etc. It's supposed to be here. Yeah. Okay. Not sure why I couldn't access. Okay, yeah, I needed to add a new one, so that's fine. Okay. Let's proceed. Okay. Let's close that. Okay, we did some changes for the probing. Okay, now we are so geometry. What we are seeing is that now it is possible to select multiple geometries in the same operation. So this wasn't really possible in the past. So for each kind of operation, you can now click on the add here and choose a conform geometry to be able to add different points to control. Okay. So let's keep it simple like this. Also, a nice one, I believe. Okay. Okay. Here we are able now to specify the probing mode. What does this mean? Okay. Here, if we take, for example, the rectangle here, you can now specify what is the usage you are supposed to have for this point. Is it for probing the origin of a part, do a control report, or just check if the part is present? Okay, so this has implications on the post-processing, but this also has been documented, given by the PP team. Okay. Post-processing. Okay, let's go. Okay, same thing here. We added some options in the probing. We added the sphere probing primitive. Okay, simply put, we can probe on sphere. So you find it here on the right. Sphere probing. Simple as that. Let's go on. Oh, and also, yeah, I forgot to say, but we are now able to choose if we want to probe on non-finished elements or even on faceted stocks. So it is possible. If you go here, you can project the mode of projection, how you want to project your parts. And if you do some probing, you can, even if you are using the stock, okay, it's not the right thing. If you go here, you can specify if you want to probe on the stock, and even if it is a faceted stock, we will do the projection correctly. Okay, this has been documented and tagged as important from product measurement, and you also get a full video of examples on this. Okay, so same thing here. I believe I did make a quick documentation. UA change for the properties in operation. Okay, simply put, if we try to do any kind of cycle here, this has been changed. Okay, instead of having a drop down here, we just created a full page with some explanation of what is going on, etc. Okay, let's go for the workshop documents again. So let's just take a quick look here because I'm not going to display that. Here, simply put, we are able to find more details, or more to bring details from more components inside an assembly. Okay, so if you go to your properties, you will find here that you can get access to assembly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, simple as that. Okay, same thing inside the properties of your stock. When projecting on workshop documents, you can now call the part initial stock shape. Okay, and this I believe we do have an example anyway in video. You can project the initial stock shape and also the dimension, bring back the dimension of stock. So these two combined, okay, can bring you the initial stock shape and also the automatic dimensions. Okay, careful, as I said, only for block and cylinder. Okay, so this is the same thing. So annotations are visible in the CAM, but this is also true for example, tolerances and geometric tolerance. Okay, so again, right click on your NC part, hide or show annotations. Okay, here, let's jump to here. Inside work documents, here you are now able to here change the name of your file. So where was that already? Okay, when I go to this here, workshop document, where was that? I can't remember. Okay, so if I do some automatic machining, so I believe it's here. Okay, find it. Can I find it? Where isn't it? Where is that? Okay, whatever. I will find it back, but yeah, you get the idea. You can name your files. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, it's an advanced configuration or something. Where is that? Ah, yes, easy. That's here. Up. True. And in there. Okay. Thank you, Tobias. And in there, you can choose from three different things, and you can choose how you want to do this kind of things. Okay. No, it's not here. I don't believe it's here. Something is missing here. Okay, strange. Okay, looks like a top track again. Or it's only for automatic machining. Okay. 11.12 track. Okay, new point again for me. Okay. Oh, so this is that example here. Okay, again, a new one. Quick UI tips. Let's get this here. Can I get that my part, please? Thank you. Okay, just a graphical update here. You can display your environment here just with this quick option. So simple as that. Okay. Let's okay here and simulation. We changed also the management of security distance inside the environment. If we go, I believe it's in verify and in here and in the incidents, you can now specify a security distance for tools and environments, meaning that if your tool is getting a bit too close to your environment, so say for example 2 millimeters, if the distance is under 2 millimeters, you will get an incident, okay, and eventually a stop if you specify that you want to stop at a new incident. Okay, simple as this. Okay, let's close this. Okay, and finally, so this one has been documented as important. So let's just take a look here because it's a long process to show. But the fact is, if you did try compare and replace in the past, you had to sometimes to manage invalidities. Okay, after a few replacing a few faces, you would sometimes get invalidities even if the user created the things correctly. Okay, and sometimes it was a bit hard to correct the invalidity in the meantime. So now the compare and replace wizard is able to interrupt the process. Okay, and then you get the button on the top of the part once the invalidity has been corrected, and you can resume the replace wizard. Okay, so you get a full video here and you get where you got the management of invalidity is done. Okay, so no worries about it. Okay, and finally, let's talk about that one here. We added some new cycles for grinding. Okay, so here I won't go too much into the details. We have 4 new cycles for grinding. You can find them. So let's just do some stuff here. Right click, and now you're able to find it here. So you have 4 new cycles. So grinding by facing, contouring, etc. Okay, for new. So you have examples here, and there comes, of course, with new tools that you can create. So when you, for example, create here, okay, you get these 4 specific tools for grinding. Okay, so in this kind of things here, so if we take the very simple things here, what is important compared to usual machining is that we can now do a back and forth back and forth cycles. When you want to get back on the same face and do spring passes, for example, here, so they are managed here. You can specify spring passes, do out and back. Okay, how do you want to specify your out and back? Always in the same way, to alternate, etc. Again, so pretty straightforward cycles and full video. I believe we have a 20-minute videos specifying exactly what is going on with these cycles. Okay. So interesting, but very good. Okay, for this. So again, new cycle, so tagged as important from product management, and you get this video, and it is also fully translated in English audio. And again, it is inside your package. And finally, let's just take a look at these 2 here, but we'll just jump through it. Okay, so for our wire users, okay, simply put, you can now specify multiple technologies for ONA, okay, and you get to choose here to have it there, okay. So, well, best thing, try it out and see how it goes. Okay, and finally, we added some new options for. Is it a TopSolid algorithm? For Vitali, yes, I believe it is done by TopSolid. Yes, and okay, and getting back to this. For cam operator, we added some new interesting options. So of course, you can now choose between tablet and touchscreen, but that's not all. We are now able to edit the parameters as the PDM admin, okay, and say what does the user has the right to modify for each kind of operations. Okay, so you get this long menu here. You can create different users, and in there you can here choose which cycle can be modified, and in the cycles you can choose which parameters the user can actually change. Okay, so very so pushing the admin rights a bit far. Okay. Okay, plus a new some new eye candy. So we added a command to display the list of draft documents available on a part. So for example, if you have tool drafts, I don't know, etc., assembly drafts, etc., they are all available here. You can click and you get a drop-down list with all the documents that are linked to this CAM document. Okay. And finally, we just changed some of the filters here. Okay. You can get different filters for displaying the operations here. Okay, so this here, these 2 buttons that lets you choose. But this is more or less the one thing you could do in TopSolid'Cam, but now available in Cam Operator. Okay. And that is all, I believe, for this thing. Some more documentation regarding post-processing. Okay, so I'll let you dig into it, but you'll get information regarding, for example, what we spoke about, the coolants. Okay, so what is going on, what is implied, so my coolant, and how do you want to call them, etc., coolant pressure, etc. Okay, so let you dig. And for this one here, I requested a bit more documentation and examples, because for now, it is a bit limited, as you can see. Okay, and I believe we are done, and I think it is time I liberate you. So, do we have any questions that I shall get back to at some point, or things that were, you know, that you wanted to bring back, or stuff you tested in the meantime here and that I should know about? Let me know, because since we have limited time, cannot cover everything. So, do we have any remarks? Okay, anything? Well, in this case, thank you all for coming to this session. Well, I hope you can test out these features on your side now. And I really await your feedback, because I believe when we have a lot of people testing features, it's always better than only one people alone. Okay. And be sure that if you create top tracks on these features, I have only one request for you. Please, if you refer to these new features in the top track, in the description, please mention the number here corresponding to this feature in the track, so I can try to keep the documentation updated. Okay, so if you find things, it's cool to mention it. Okay, and that will be all for me. Thank you guys for your time. It's time for lunch for most of you, and some others, maybe, I don't know, it can be the evening. So, well, have a nice day and see you next time.